Hello there. Thank you for joining Connect Care Hub. This is Consumers Doctor, Dr. Bengala. Today we will talk about problems with private insurance pre-Obamacare. I'm talking about pre-Obamacare. What is wrong with it prior to the Obamacare? And even with Obamacare, it doesn't address several concerns Americans have. What was it like pre Obamacare? Let's look into that. Pre Obamacare health insurance was at its finest. In fact, it lacked many features of free market. This is prior to the Obamacare. What are they? Number one, consumers are powerless when seek to purchase coverage from insurers. So consumers are basically at the mercy of the insurers. That was prior to the Obamacare. And number two, insurance companies restricted which provider services patients could access. So basically a restriction in access to the care. Pre-Obamacare, you could see any doctor, you can see your own doctor, you can keep up, but there were restrictions even prior to that. And number three, cost and quality information were non-existent. Whatever the cost was, it was non-existent. Number four, individual consumers had little or no power to negotiate premiums or understand why they are rejected for the coverage. They had no power. Consumers had no power prior to the Obamacare. And number five, limited competition among the insurers. Insurance companies, there was no competition, and restricted consumer coverage alternatives, plan choices, innovation, and pricing competition. It was not there. We definitely don't want to go back to the pre-Obamacare because consumers had very little say. What is Obamacare does? Basically, it is a government regulated healthcare, which is called socialized system. Socialized system, we have seen it in other countries. Basically, what it does, it takes away the competition. It takes away the consumer's bill of rights. It takes away it's like what we have is a vertical control from top down. There is nothing like a uniform healthcare. It sounds very enticing, uniform healthcare for all, but it's just not practical. You cannot have a uniform healthcare in a vast country like ours. We need to have consumers get involved and choose what they want. One size fits all approach never works in this country, even anywhere in the world. One size fits all approach will never work. You really need to have individual responsibility, individual freedom, and insurance companies. We need them. We really want to have them sustained, insurance companies. But insurance companies should work with consumers. Right now, the insurance companies, they make deals with providers like doctors and hospitals, and that keeps the prices keeps going. That's where the issue is. You cannot have insurance. First of all, insurance companies themselves need competition. And insurance premiums, what we are put in, a portion of the premium should be coming back to us so that way we can put money aside into the personal care or health savings accounts, which goes a long way. So we need reform and health care, health insurance. That's what we need. America needs health insurance reform, where the premiums what we are paying, if you are paying 14 to 16,000, the blue collar workers are very happy with private insurance. But the problem what I see is that premiums what they're paying year after year, you never see it. They disappear. We are paying almost like $16 to $18,000 for a family of four, 116 million people, which comes to around $2.88 trillion. That's a lot of money every year. And it disappears. It probably goes into the Wall Street, I guess. Whoever makes the insurance companies' profits are shown on the Wall Street. But it is raising the cost of the care. That's where the issue is. We need to bring the cost down so we can provide the care for lower income and impaired group. There is definitely a role for the federal government, which is already doing that on Medicare. Even the Medicare needs to be reformed, where consumers were given the right now full risk contracts are being given to a private party. So Medicare basically wants to get rid of the responsibility of taking care of the seniors and give it to the individual companies or folks, where medical groups or take the full risk contracts. But where are the consumers in this? Consumers have no say. What I would like to see happen is, if portion of the premium what your Medicare we have already paid into the system, instead of paying the private parties, so-called managed care organizations, some of them are taking full risk, some of them taking partial risk, they're getting paid $1,200 to $1,500 per person. Why can't you give that to in a form of a health savings or personal care accounts? I'm pretty sure individuals can shop around and they can get their own coverage. Even Medicare recipients, they can get a high deductible insurance plan with the amount they're giving it to the third party like managed care. That same full risk contracts, $1,000, $1,200, if you give it back to us, we can get a deductible policy of 3 to 5, whatever the capabilities are. We can get a deductible policy, buy a private insurance for a deductible coverage up to 3,000 or 5,000. We can take that responsibility and shop for the healthcare, and that money belongs to us anyway. So, why Medicare? The way I see it, Medicare is not solvent. This billing system is, it doesn't work. This DRG codes, CPT codes for these providers are all made up. It doesn't make any sense. It has to be market based, consumer based, consumer driven prices. Like we see it in the retail, wholesale. You see it everywhere. Why not we have consumers take charge? Medicare recipients should have health savings accounts. We can contribute. I understand that we already have contributed. But whatever we have contributed, don't waste that money to the third party. Give that power back to the consumers where they can shop. Make it mandatory for them to get a high deductible health plan, mandatory for all the participating AARP members. Make it mandatory. They have to have insurance, but give them the control and up to $3,000 to $5,000, whatever they can afford, they can pay for it. That will discourage from using or abusing the services in Medicare. Right now, a lot of services are being abused. That will deter the abuse of Medicare. Coming back to the indigent, lower income, impaired group, like what the states are already providing the Medicaid, and they're also providing the financial help through EBT cards. Give the incentives to the lower income people. Invest in lower income folks. Invest in them. Give them the independence, what they need, and give them the opportunity for them to save. Okay, we are giving you this much for the food stamps. A portion of that money, give it for their health care and let them shop for the health care. That's where this concept of telehealth, telemedicine, telehealth hubs, hub, again, which stands for help under blues. You know what help under blues? Help when you get sick. That's what it stands for, hub. Help under blues, which is a good way to explain when you're sick, you need help. The Americans knows the best. They can shop and they can save money. Basically, by investing in lower income and impaired, handicapped group, it helps everyone. It helps all the providers, all the entities, but consumers are in charge, consumer driven. If they want to save money, like same thing what's happening in the food chain or free market enterprise. We have been very successful in Amazon, Walmart, Costco. All these are successful concepts. We can embrace that in healthcare through a concept called hubs. Connect Care Hub, which gives you an access to the urgent care, CT scan, MRI, nuclear medicine, laboratory services, pharmacy. It also gives access to the surgeries, and they can be recovered in a hub in a subacute setting. They can be rehabbed. They can stay extra weeks if they want to in an independent housing, independent living hub. And they can be recovered in an assisted living hub. This is where the free enterprise works the best. Folks, I'll be keep talking about it. I'll be keep focusing on what is telemedicine. I want to focus on individual specialties, how consumers can access to their own doctors online through your mobile app. Everything is in the mobile, folks. Forget about the laptops. Everything is accessed through a mobile technology. Mobile MD Live, Virtual MD Live, Google MD Live, Amazon MD Live, you name it. Siri MD Live. Hey, you can. Hey Siri, call Google MD Live. See, it's
Who would you
already.
like to call?
See, you can access just through voice.
Sorry, I couldn't quite hear you. Could you please repeat what you said?
Hey Siri, stop it.
Okay, I won't do it.
You got it? This is where the healthcare should be. There's a lot changing, folks. If you like this channel, hit the notification button, subscribe to this channel. I'll be keep harping on free enterprise in healthcare, private free enterprise in healthcare. At the same time, you guys, common folks, come out ahead because America is investing in you folks, not on the third parties, not on the all these managed care organizations. Medicare, Medicaid, they need to be consumer based. Give them the individual responsibility. Make some comments. I would like to reply to these comments. And we will see you in the next episode. Again, thank you for joining Connect Care Hub.